Hello, everyone. We're doing the interview. This is Johnny Let's Talk Anime. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I dropped something. Anyway,
Nice.
I am doing great.
Nice.
Actually been in a really good mood today.
Oh, you
So
love to
that's
see
good.
it. So, would you like to
Um,
describe your channel, your Twitch, YouTube, and what you do?
so it all started on Twitter, really. My whole career started on Twitter.
Well, we got some Twitter
It
questions.
started what?
We got some Twitter questions here. Don't worry.
Oh boy. Well, anyway, so on Twitter, um, I have I was just an artist at first, and I loved anime basically, and so I was drawing anime when I stumbled across, I think it was Anime Uproar's channel. Yes, it was Anime Uproar's channel, which then led to Nuts and Briggs, and then it spiraled into everyone else that I can find.
Yeah.
And eventually I'm like, this is something that I might want to do for YouTube. I used to actually, fun fact, used to have a Christian Minecraft channel.
That was always
um,
nice.
those were always great. That actually got to 2,000 subscribers, but then it died because I went on hiatus for a few
Mm-hmm.
months. Um, but I was like, you know what? Let's start a new YouTube channel. Let's do it. So I started an analysis video, which currently has over 8,000 views now, which I'm quite proud of. And it's my currently it is my most proud of. I'm most proud of this video, and it's the video of Comfer. I don't know if you've heard of it or if you've seen the video.
What is it
Um,
called?
Wait, huh?
What is it called again?
It's called Comfer. It's actually a German what's it called? German title, but it is an anime. It is based in Japan, and whatnot. Basically, the main character becomes has the ability to become a magical girl
Okay. I might have
and
heard
gets into
before.
some. It gets into some interesting stuff.
Ooh.
Like they focus mostly on like the school aspect in season one, at least. There is still some fighting, but it's like the way that it's set up is like magical girl versus magical girl. So it's like red team versus blue team, but the red and blues just decide to, you know what, let's actually, figure out what's going on with this, why we're at war and whatnot. You
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't say magical. What do you mean you wouldn't say magical girl? Explain to me how it's not a magical girl, Blitz.
I have not
Blitz.
seen it, so I have no idea. I've seen a lot of
Okay,
anime. I've seen over 300 plus anime. I don't think I've ever seen this one. I think I've heard of it, but I never heard of the title.
you should try it. It's like 12, 15 episodes long, and it's interesting. It's a lot of fan service, and I love it. But yeah, I made that video, and with some help of other anime YouTubers, because I had some copyright problems with it,
Mm-hmm.
apparently. It eventually got up, and after that, I just started doing YouTube whenever I could upload. I tried doing a consistent upload schedule, but life happens.
Life does happen,
Which is why,
sadly.
and 2020 hit like the
Oof.
year after as well, so it was not that great of a time for me.
2020 was a rough year
um,
for, I think, all of us. There's no doubt about it.
yeah,
I know uh, when school started back up, college, I hit major depression. I went from all happy and cheery to rock bottom. That's why I stopped streaming. That's why I stopped doing everything. I had so many issues come at once. I first had some money issues that came up about that shouldn't have happened. I had my laptop died, so I had to get a desktop. My desktop wasn't working, and then everything just went downhill. So for the longest time,
mm,
so I think the depression lasted for about a couple months, and I'm still feeling the effects. Don't get me wrong. I'm still like media, not like depressed, but I'm still gets like extremely depressed sometimes. It's just because I'm still affected by it because It was a rough.
Yeah.
It was a rough time. You can't. I've always told this to people. You can't get over depression like that. You really can't. You're either gonna
No, you
have.
can't. As someone who's diagnosed with it and is clinically depressed,
Mhm.
yeah, it's not easy at
It's
all.
and also it's nothing to joke about. That's like the one
No,
thing
it's not.
I think I'm lucky in a way when it comes to depression because I never get the thought of suicide, for example. Suicide has never been
Oh,
one
yeah.
thing that comes to mind. Whenever it comes to mind, it usually always so. For example, this when I was at rock bottom, as soon as suicide popped up, I'm like, yeah, yeah, that gets me away from this problem. Yes, but who else? Who's gonna be taking on my debt? It won't be
Yeah.
me because I'm dead. Who's the next in line? Oh yeah, my dad. I'm not gonna put my dad through that. Why would I do that? This is my
Yeah.
issue. I'm gonna solve it. I may be depressed now, but this is a problem that I can solve. And
Yeah.
even
Absolutely.
it's just, or you look at it like, why would I go when my family would miss me? Why would I do this to solve a itty bitty problem that's yeah, it's huge, but it's also itty bitty. There's many other issues that you can have, and if you can't get through one issue, you're not gonna last long in this world. This world is terrible, to say the
Yeah.
least. Um, but do you have any favorite color? What's your favorite color?
Can you guess just by looking at my
Blue.
avatar? Yeah.
You're a lot of blue.
Uh yeah, there's a lot of blue. I'm actually in the middle of changing that. I'm adding some more color to my avatar.
Nice.
So,
I've been doing that as well. I hired one of my friends because I developed like a friendship with someone, and that's why I've been
mhm.
hiring these two artists because developed like a bond, I guess. And I just love like hanging out with them. It's Zelda Master and Issa. I love their work, and I love your work.
Yeah,
It's just
it's
like
great.
there's so many
It's
artists
awesome.
out there that I love their work, and it's just like I can't get through all of them. This is always that. But I'm happy I hired you for my first avatar because you were my first avatar, most definitely. Um, and then on top of that, my latest avatar was done by Issa. Well, I guess I have two avatars now. I have a PFP avatar, which Issa made, and then one where I'm Isaiah from Dudalala, because he's one of my top 10 favorite characters. So
Oh, that's cool.
I went with a black hair with a white strand to still signify that I'm still like me. So,
Hmm.
what's your
That's cool.
do you have any favorite hobbies outside of YouTube or drawing?
Outside of drawing or that is a good question. Um,
It
Other than just playing games, I can't really think of anything else per se.
I think for
Like
me,
board games, video games, both of them. I love both of them.
board games and video games are always fun to play. I think the one activity I do the most are volleyball. I'm actually I love playing volleyball. I haven't done it professionally. I would love to do it when I graduate college, go into a professional league. Because I'm not a half bad setter. I'm not that bad. um,
Hmm.
so I that's probably one of the few things I do as a hobby. I run here and there. I'm not the biggest runner anymore, but I run here and there. Um, but that's
I
like,
used to run. I used to run all the time. I was always faster than everyone in the track team,
hmm
and I've had coaches beg for me to join the track team, but I hated the schools and I hated the way they run things, and the teachers weren't the greatest, so and I didn't want to represent them, so I was like, nah.
I, I I feel that. I know my cross country team that I was on. I hated my team on 11th and senior year, because I enjoyed cross country my 9th and 10th grade year, and then this kid came in. His I'm not gonna reveal name. What's his name? John. Yes. No, no. I'm not John. I can't do that to John. Tim. This piece of garbage named Tim came into the cross country team. He became the leader and was not a leader at all. He's like he became leader because he was the fastest person on the team. Yes, that was true. But a leader shouldn't be the fastest person on the team. Uh
Yeah.
I don't like calling myself I was more of a leader than him, but I just didn't put myself out there because I didn't care for the team. I loved the team, and then I started hating them more and more each season went on, and just I don't know. I developed a hatred and just didn't show up to practice here and there. I did minimal amount of effort in practice. Hell, I walked. Um, I don't walk during practice, so he knew something was up. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I'll go to the cross country meets. Yeah, I'll do my best there. Sure, but practice, why? I'm. Why would I go to practice when I can just hang out with actual good people than these pieces of shit? I'm not even joking. Okay, you know how you're supposed to encourage people to run. We had we had a slow runner. She was extremely slow. The first thing you should do as a leader is try and motivate her. And we had
Right.
a couple freshmen making fun of her. My first reaction is like, okay, enough. This is practice where she didn't have to go. It's not mandatory at all. She didn't have to come here, and she's coming here because she wants to get faster. And you're laughing at her? What the fuck? And
Yeah.
I'm talking to these freshmen, and then the leader, why are you here? You never see me so upset in my life at this leader. My coach came up to me and was like, what the fuck did you do? I'm like, oh, I punched him to the wall. You want me to just play myself? Oh, I'm not pushing myself anymore. I was so pissed at the dude. I've never been so pissed in my life. I was just about to knock the dude out. I'm not the strongest guy, but I can knock his ass out. I lifted his ass up and I was about to throw him. Because
Wow.
that is not a leader. If you want to do
No.
that, and I told the coach, by the way, I will let you know after what you just said to me. Yeah, have fun trying to get me to come to practice. I showed up to practice here and there, but it was just like, you have to try and get me to come to practice now. Why would I come to practice with a dick like that? So,
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That was not okay.
that is, if you're a leader, you need to motivate your teammates. You want to be the leader.
Right.
And if you are just out there for yourself, yes, you should improve yourself, but you also should improve your team. You are a team leader, not a leader for yourself. And that's like one thing. Of course, my mom was like upset with me, but I was just telling her I don't want to lead a team that is not good at all. Because even if I were to take the lead, there's nothing I could do. Because I would try, honestly, I disliked every single person on the team except probably a few people, and the few people were the only reason I came to even show up to practice or even tried, was because I was keeping up with them just to talk to them because they're actually cool people, and they were on my side half the time. So, but going off that, what's your favorite game of all time?
Ooh, I don't know, because I'm not a huge gamer person, like video gamer per se. Uh, I think my favorite game altogether is Uno. Just
Okay.
I love Uno. We were just playing. I was just playing it with my family earlier today, actually, and I'd like to say that I am the best player in my family because I win more than anyone else. I love Uno. It's the game that makes friends into enemies, and
Yeah.
enemies into bigger enemies.
I honestly think Monopoly does it worse, to be fair.
Oh yeah, Monopoly is so much
Monopoly
worse.
is one of my
but
favorite games of all time. Just because
Monopoly is phenomenal.
I love playing it online because you introduce so many new rules and it's like I can do so many things with my parents and they're not gonna like it. But the only two people who can stand to me is my parents because they're actually smart. My little sister, it was like we had the My Hero Academia one because that was mine. It was My Hero Academia. She's like, "Oh, I'll give you $5,000 for Todoroki." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'll sure, thank you. And then there was times that was just like, I have everything. I have like the best lot on the ground. I'm like, hey, the bank is being generous. Here's $10,000, and I end up winning every time. So
Wow.
it's just like I'm the ultimate capitalist. I give myself zero money, give them all the money, and they still frick it up. I end up getting all that money back, and it's just amazing. But what's your favorite anime of all time?
Okay, so are we going to count manga or are we
Yes, you can
not
count
counting
manga
manga?
as well.
Okay, so because my favorite manga is different from my favorite anime. My favorite anime is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure
Okay.
because I love the fights and I just love how um, unique the stand system, the powers, and all that stuff is. I'm in love with the stuff. I just love how hilarious it is and over the top, but it's also like you're on the edge of your seat in every fight, and I love it. Oh, and the soundtrack is amazing.
JoJo does
Oh,
have
Giorno's
excellent.
theme. Mwah. And but as for my favorite manga, it is hands down One Piece. One Piece is just a phenomenal story with phenomenal, many well written characters, and it's incredible that it's gotten to chapter 1,000, and every single arc is a great arc. Even its lowest arc, it is a great arc.
I honestly agree with you,
And
to be honest. JoJo's for
yeah,
me would be top 25 ish, but that's I like I said I've seen like I think it was 369 anime. Yeah, 69. But it was like 369 anime I've seen in my entire lifetime. Uh, and I've as in completed. But it just like I don't know. JoJo's was not overrated for me. I think so. I had like a major controversial opinion that I think part one was better than part three, which is amazingly controversial.
aw, that
But
is extremely controversial.
but it was more or less because part three, I will admit, the last 10 episodes were freaking phenomenal. But that's the last 10 episodes, and I honestly dropped JoJo's part three so many times. As in dropped, I put it on hold. I put that in wrong quotation mark. I put it on hold so many times. Part four,
Interesting.
the first half wasn't the greatest, and the second half was great, and then part five was good. Part two is my favorite part, and right now I'm on part six. I think I'm only on chapter 7 or something, and it's okay. Not anything great at the moment, but it's just like I don't know. JoJo has never been like the greatest. I would give it like an 8 overall, just because part three and part one. I still think part one's terrible. Don't get me wrong, but just like I found part three so boring, where at least part one has Dio actually in the entire show the entire time. Yo, driving by, you talking about JoJo's? Yes, we are talking about JoJo's. Mental.
Yes, JoJo is amazing. Lady Q. All
So, do you
right.
have a favorite
Um,
movie going off of that?
favorite movie? Uh,
Not
not anything anime per se though,
no, you don't have
because
to say
I
anime.
don't know.
It's just in general.
Okay, in general, um, my favorite movie of all time is the Pirates of the Caribbean, the first
Fuck
one.
yeah, frick yeah, baby.
Now, I mean, it's a phenomenal masterpiece of a movie. I rewatched it the other day. Like, oh my gosh,
There's
I
only
love Jack Sparrow.
yes.
Oh, love
I
the
think
world building.
I will admit the later ones like 2, 3, 4, 5 aren't the greatest, but one is just so phenomenal.
Yes, the first one is the
It makes
greatest.
me want to
I
watch all of them.
Yes. The
um,
thing so in my opinion, the second movie was what obviously wasn't as good, but it was still really
no, it
good.
was. I think it
Third
got
one was
gradually worse.
okay. The third one was okay, but after that I consider it all filler.
Yeah, I've always told my dad it all got went downhill. I think the fifth one was probably my least favorite one because I went to
Oh, it was
see that in
awful.
theater, and Jasper wasn't Jasper. It was
Yeah,
just like
no,
it doesn't
it
seem
was just
like him.
awful all around.
Uh
And the
huh.
fact that the curse was part of the compass, or
Yeah.
the compass was part of the curse if he lost it, that thing has been taken so many
Yeah,
times.
it made no sense, but yeah. I think the only two other movies I think are close to perfect are Your Name, which is an anime movie. That's probably my favorite
Mhm.
anime movie. Um, Actually, I'll add another one, Kung Fu Panda. um,
Oh, Kung Fu Panda's phenomenal. I love
and
that stuff.
The Dark Knight. So
Oh, Dark Knight.
When it comes to
Oh,
superhero movies, I have like, I don't give 10 out of 10s. Like, I have trouble giving 10 out of 10s to anime in general, but movies, like, I can't get it outright 10 out of 10, except for if a movie I found really enjoyable and really good, such as Pirates of the Caribbean. But Dark Knight is so perfect of a movie. I've never heard a bad opinion on it except one person whose opinion was there wasn't enough fighting, which is just like, uh,
that's
cool.
not
What the fuck?
okay. That's
But
not exactly a
there was a
good
lot of
opinion.
fighting.
Okay,
But
it was a
it was
lot.
it was a dumb reason. But he wanted a hand-to-hand combat, and he liked the Dark Knight Rises. I'm like, that was trash. I'm sorry, that movie was trash. Bane
Dark
was,
Knight Rises.
yeah, it went from fun, perfect movie to absolute dog shit in 2 seconds. But The Princess Bride, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh, it's such a funny movie. I love it. It's an older one, but it's
Hmm.
great.
So, do you have a favorite season? Not in anime, but season in general that calms you down, I guess.
Ooh, it calms me down. Hmm. I don't know.
I'm gonna throw mine out there. It's winter and spring. Those are my top two seasons. Cause they're
Okay.
so beautiful to
I
look at.
think I think I prefer fall or autumn, whatever you want to call
Fall
it.
or autumn, that's fine by me. That's another
I'm
beautiful
a
season.
person. I agree, and I live in Maine, so I get to see all the pretty colors
Hmm.
whenever they show up. Oh my gosh, beautiful. And I'm a guy who likes the cold. I'm weird, I know, but I prefer cold. And I can't stand the heat. So I like the fall because I don't have to deal with so much ridiculous amounts of snow. But it's also cool enough for me to wear a jacket.
Yeah, most definitely. So, what is your greatest accomplishment that you have done so far?
Hmm.
And what I mean by that is like in general, if you had to pick a accomplishment that happened to you over the lifetime of YouTube or just in general, what accomplishment would you choose to be the greatest?
I don't know if I could choose one because I have an accomplishment I'm working on,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a few accomplishments I'm working on. Um, that I feel like I've been working on for many years, and I'm finally bringing one of them to fruition, which is to um, start working on my story, my comic, my
Yeah,
manga, whatever you want to call it.
I
And I've been working on this thing for over 5 years now,
mm-hmm.
and I'm just now feeling good about the first chapter.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited for it. Uh, I've seen a
I've
lot of
been
the artwork from it. I'm pumped up for it. And then I actually got reminded of this when I was watching John's interview. Because whenever I do interviews, I want to get an idea. And during this time, I had a writer's block. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to copy John, but I'm going to try and watch what he said and then go off of what I can say with that. And I do have some questions based off that because some questions came off that. So I realized, oh yeah, he's doing a manga. What the frick? How did I forget about this? Um,
Yeah, I've been talking about it for ages, but
mhm.
I've never been happy with the result until recently.
And I guarantee you
Um,
it's going to be
I've
beautiful.
I've sketched out a lot of it, and I'm working on finalizing it. I should have it complete. The first chapter should be completed by the end of this month.
Nice.
So look out for that.
When it comes to
I'm trying. I'm going to try to do monthly as well. Update monthly.
okay, I think that worked a lot better. Just give your readers an opportunity to tell you when you're going to be able to release the next chapter.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking like the last day of the month,
Hmm.
probably, or the first. I don't know. It depends.
Something will happen.
Say again?
Something will happen. I know you can do
Yeah,
it.
something will happen.
So what got you into anime that made you start watching it more and more?
So, I was not growing up on anime like a lot of people that I've met have. Um, I grew up with Superman,
Hmm.
Batman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, all those guys. And so just comic books and cartoons from America, and the thing about uh, me and anime, I my aunt actually influenced me to hate anime, as well as an art teacher that I
Hmm.
had. So I, thought, oh, anime's bad just because these people are saying it's bad, but I'm saying it's my opinion now.
Hmm.
I was a very naive kid in high school. But I was watching Death Battle, the YouTube channel for Death
Of
Battle.
course.
Um, and I've been keeping up with them for a really long time. I still watch their stuff. They're funny.
I do too.
Um, Even though I'm not like as much into the power scaling and stuff like that, I still watch it. It's fun. Anyway, but the one that interested me at first was Zorro versus Urza, and I was fascinated with the powers of Urza Scarlet, and I was just fascinated by Urza Scarlet in general. But it wasn't until they did another fairy tale character, uh, and versus another One Piece character,
Natsu
ironically,
versus Ace.
um, Anatsu versus Ace. That was the death battle that was like, if I'm getting into anime, I want to check out Fairy Tale.
Hmm.
And so eventually I was bored out of my mind one day, and I'm like, you know what? Let's try looking up an episode of Fairy Tale. First episode, I was instantly hooked. And ever since then, I've been watching anime.
So you did answer my.
So
You did get my answer for my second question as well, which was what was the thing that got you into Fairy Tale, which was Death Battle, right?
yes, it was Death Battle.
So what is your favorite arc in Fairy Tale?
My favorite arc in Fairy Tale is the Tartaros arc.
Okay.
It is phenomenal, and honestly, I was on the edge of my seat more than the war arc that comes after it, which I was
Hmm.
very disappointed in
The war
when I
arc was
read
very
that.
disappointing. I'm gonna spoil it, but Makarov sort of freaking died.
Yeah,
He's
I agree with that statement. Makarov should have frickin' died.
what the
Oh gosh.
hell was he thinking? Like, yeah, by the way, because Zarev died, yeah, he's back. What? How
Would
does that
make
make
no
sense?
sense. Like Mavis's sacrifice was great. I love Mavis's
Hmm.
sacrifice, and I love the fact how she defeated Zareth. I love that. Natsu's power. I mean, the Natsu burning time and space. Okay, I thought that was pretty hype.
It was
But
hype.
then he goes and fights frickin' Acnologia, a character I was so hyped for, and it was the most disappointing thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I
Like,
honestly, people are gonna hate me, but Natsu should have died. I love Natsu as a character, but he should have died.
I don't know if he should have died, but
I
yeah,
as soon as
he
like
should have at least
Zareth
been
died,
seriously injured
yeah.
instead of just, oh yeah, I burned so much that my hand and all my arm, I burned it off, burned the skin off of it. Like,
Hmm.
dude, that's awesome. But now you're gonna fight Acnologia, who is literally just, oh yeah, I am just a dragon slayer. What do you
Hmm.
mean you're just a dragon slayer? Yeah, I just eat magic.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh, that's an insane, cool villain idea. How are they going to defeat it? Oh, with
Power
magic.
friendship, baby.
Power friendship and just, magic.
Yeah.
Not physical strength or anything like that, which honestly, I would have been it would have been interesting to like have this arc where they shouldn't rely solely on their magic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something to that effect, that magic isn't their only strength. I don't know, something like that. That's how I would have played it off, instead of just I eat magic and I'm immune to magic, but as soon as power of friendship is involved, I am no longer immune to magic, and I'll take every hit and die.
Yeah. I think my favorite arc in Fairy Tail right now would probably be the Grand Magic Games, just because I found that so hype.
Yeah, that's a close second for me.
But I don't know. I think Fairy Tail has some good arcs, but also really terrible ones. I was one of the kids who watched every episode, including the filler, and the filler was kind of
garbage,
mid to garbage. So
yeah, I was that guy who watched every single episode, and I watched every single OVA. I love the OVA, by the way.
I watched the 2 movies that came out with it. They were good. But
I didn't quite like the ending of the first one.
Nah.
But the second one I loved. I
think they were both decent. They weren't like spectacular, but keeping on Fairy Tail, have you ever cried to Fairy Tail?
Actually, no.
Really?
I have not.
Because that was probably the first anime I would say I cried. It was
the first anime I cried was with Hunter x Hunter.
Okay. I kind of have a feeling I know what you're gonna say, but
Meruem. That's all I'll say.
Meruem.
That was the first time, and ever since then I cry to One Piece. I've cried at oh my gosh. I've cried with JoJo's. I've cried with
the biggest teary moment in Fairy Tail is the L sign, and
oh my gosh, yeah, that brings me to tears now.
I used devastated. To be it was like after that, Lotsis honestly was one of my favorite villains up to that point, and it was just like,
oh my
holy
gosh,
crap,
such a
he's
great
so
character.
Great. Yeah. Now going off of that, if you were to make a top 5 character spot on Fairy Tail right now, who would it be? Mine personally is Ursa, Lotsis, Natsu, Juvia, and Guild Arts.
Just for characters in general?
Yep.
Okay, so for me, it is at the top of my head, Urza, Loxus, Levi, Guild Arts, and Gagio.
Gagio was one I was thinking about. Natsu was probably my early favorite, just because I used to be a protagonist lover. But I don't know. I just always liked Natsu. I don't know. I just like his fiery passion, even though he had power of friendship.
I love Natsu as a character as well. He's just one of those characters that I'm drawn to. I don't know. It's hard to explain why I'm drawn to these types of characters, but I just love the characters who are. They may not seem very smart, and they may not act very smart, but in the end, they can strategize really well, and they know how to. They are basically a moral rock. And I love characters like that.
I think that was like one of the biggest reasons I love Natsu. It's just because he was rock, and honestly, him and Lucy was top tier. I think honestly, you know what? Natsu and Lucy was my first ship. So
honestly, same.
And then my second one was Miu Jane and Urza. And then Gachio and Levi came along, and just like, yeah, that broke me. But the biggest issue some people have with Fairy Tail is the power of friendship. Obviously, that's like one of the biggest issues when it comes to Fairy Tail. And the power system is all wonky at points. Like how Natsu eats the ether and unlocks Dragon Force, and now he cannot unlock it again. Do you feel that those flaws affect the show as a whole, though?
I don't think so. I honestly never saw them as flaws. Because though I didn't realize at the time, I knew that was an important part of the story. Obviously, like friendship is the biggest theme, and that is why it is set up the way it is. The author, I can't remember his name, but he is a huge advocate for the power of friendship, and you can see that in both Rave and in Eden Zero. I've read a few chapters of Eden Zero. It's pretty cool, and I'm excited that he's getting an anime for it.
Yeah.
He's gotten 3 manga, each of them extremely popular, and all of them have gotten an getting anime adaptations, and it's great. Not many people can say that.
I think I don't see it as like flaws either, because that was the reason I was drawn into the show of Fairy Tail. It wasn't because of the fights.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't because Natsu this epic fight with Latsus. Yeah, that was an epic fight. Don't get me wrong, but it was just like you felt like you were part of the guild when you first got introduced to them. It's just they're like self-friendly. They're like a family, and when they are having their downtime, when they're at the lowest, you get to at your lowest. When they're at your highest, you're happy as well. You're shedding tears with them. You're getting angry with them. You're always with them till the end. And at the end of the Tartaros arc, when they split up, that hurt. That hurt.
Yo, yeah, absolutely. That hurt. Absolutely hurt.
It's like telling me that, oh yeah, Karasuno, your favorite team, yeah, they're splitting up, by the way. What? No.
It's like all those fangirls. It's like almost worse than when all the fangirls heard that One Direction was splitting up.
Yeah, that was horrid. I was shedding tears. I will admit, I was shedding tears when I found out they were, gone. But they came back, and then I actually think the 01, the 8th season, was phenomenal.
Oh, I agree. Fairy Tail Zero was great.
And then the final season came along.
And then the final season, and I was like, well, that's dang.
Okay, going off of Fairy Tail, let's go to My Hero. So,
okay,
there's only one question I have for My Hero, and this is an important question that we all need to know. Are you a fan of Kachako or Deku at Uraraka?
Say that again.
Are you Kachan at Ochako or Deku at Ochako?
Oh, Deku Ochako. I'm sorry. No.
Oh, come on. Kochako is like the greatest ship of all time. Going to see the chemistry where the first season they get pissed off at each other? Clearly.
And the second season, he beats her to a pulp?
Yes. And she was like, oh, give me more. She wanted more. She kept on going back for more, so obviously she liked it. So clearly. Okay, getting off that. On the video, you bracketed 8 abilities, and you had Shadow Clones emerge victorious. If you were to have any of the 8 choices, which were Telekinesis, Shadow Clones, the Gum Gum Fruit, Spatial Magic, Permeation, Instant Transmission, or Soul Walking, Requip, what would you choose and why?
I would actually choose the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Although the ability to permeation would be a solid second. But I always find myself wanting to be able to duplicate myself so I can get more things done. Like, I would have like 2 people, 2 clones, or maybe 3 or 4, go out into the world and be like, hi, I'm here to work. And I would have me working on my manga. I would have a few clones doing chores at home. I would split up my work. You work on the next video. You start editing my next video. I will go and start working on my manga.
Or I'll go work. You do my manga.
Make us some money. And you make me some money.
Me, I would probably have like 3 Shadow Clones just working. Just like, make me as much money as possible, make me a freaking millionaire, and then, let's go from there. But
if you had 3 full-time jobs, 40 hours a week.
That's like 120 hours, but and the funny thing is, you can tell that they are able to do that with Naruto and Boruto, that crappy show. He was able to do a lot of things with his shower clones. So
Yeah.
I think myself, it would probably be I think spatial magic would be one, just because I can do a lot of stuff with it and go places. But that's instant transmission for me. But I think permeation would be really funny to have. Just like, hey, I'm over here. No, I'm over here now. I'm behind you. I would be the complete. You know how Mirio was addicted to Deku popping out of the ground and the wall?
Yes.
That would be me every second of the day. Just like,
same, honestly.
where did Dylan go? Oh, I'm behind you, boy. Hey, where did Tao go? I'm over here. Oh, I'm gonna go eat dinner now. Bye bye. Teleport.
And imagine if you were able to like, honestly, it is a broken ability to be able to just walk through anything solid. I'm not sure how like fire or anything would do, but basically you're invincible to any physical attacks. In this day and age, that is amazing. That would be like invincible. You would be practically invincible as long as you're, conscious about it.
Yes. Now, you mentioned in a tweet before that you think Kung Fu Panda Po from Kung Fu Panda would slap Goku. Do you have any reasoning behind that? Do you have like any solid evidence?
Here's what Po would do. Po would walk up to Goku. He would offer some dumplings, to share, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
To share. Because you can't just... maybe even do a dumpling contest. And then he would go over and use the Wuxi finger hold on him. And that's all he needs to do.
Honestly, I will admit there's only one person who could beat both of them, and that's Soma Yukihira. Soma would cut them both.
Oh, 100%.
In an instant. I made a whole video about this.
On the floor.
I made a video memeing on it that I honestly do believe Soma would kick Goku butt. Even though Goku's like god level, Soma just had to cook this godly food, make him orgasm. Now he's now a regular human, and all Soma has to do is stab him with a knife. I mean, a laser move did it. So, I mean, what else do you need? Now, here's a question we all need to know. I've seen a lot of back and forth here and there, but you are a member of Animakistan, right?
Yes, I am a member of the Animakistanian Warriors, known as the Men of Culture.
Now, do you shrimp Evan Nito with a 0 or Animak with a C? Who do you shrimp for the most?
I probably shrimp more for oh gosh. I probably shrimp more for Animak because he is the one who basically started me on this path, so to speak. Like his channel is the one that introduced me to the whole AniTube community. And it's gotten to where I've met so many people because of it. So
Most
that's
definitely.
why Animak, when he came to me about making my character, he asked me, "Do you want to be Animakistan or Nuxturia, whatever?" And I thought about it. At the time, Nuxtaku was my favorite AniTuber of all time. But then I'm like, but I love Animak. He's a great guy, and honestly, his content's great. So I went with him.
Honestly,
because I'm a loyal guy. What can I say?
If I were to be thrown into the East Sky myself, I probably would just be someone like Dakota Broski. Just like on either side, because I don't know. I wouldn't want to be on Nestoria because God no.
Yeah. After what I heard and read about what Nuxtura does, I'm like, oh gosh, no.
No, thank you. And then Animatic is saying like, yeah, maybe. But I'm gonna stick with Briggs over here. I'm gonna be with Briggs.
Honestly, I was tempted to say, "Can I be part of Briggs's crew?" I
I
was tempted, but
That probably would be
also,
what I would do, because I could never see myself going on either one. So I've been hearing a lot about your manga. Obviously, you talked about it previously. What, if you don't mind, do you have any details of what you can share about what it will be about?
so it is about this. So my manga is called Titan Nova, and it is a it is about a kingdom called of the title. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Titan Nova is Kingdom of Titan Nova. It's a fantasy-based world that focuses on mostly a certain guild. It obviously this has some inspiration from fairy tale, obviously, because
Obviously.
it was around the same time when I started watching anime. Is when I started writing this story. So fairy tale, you will see some fairy tale inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
but I've changed so much that I've made it my own basically. So there is okay, so there is a world where um a world that doesn't remember its own past, basically. The world doesn't has this entire history just long forgotten. The only things that is left is these ruins and basically a long lost language that historians are trying to figure out. Hey, what happened? But a lot of the stone tablets that hold the history have been shattered, so they call it the shattered past
Mm-hmm.
because they can only put bits and pieces together as well. Um, so it's about this guild basically who end up working together despite them not particularly seeing eye to eye at first. But they make the best of the situation and become the best of friends, while also figuring out what is going on with this world. Why is magic seemingly disappearing? Um, why are the gods not letting them off the continent?
Mm-hmm.
Different things like that.
Okay. Seems
There
very
is
interesting.
it's a yeah, it's a huge mysterious world that our I wouldn't say heroes, but our the main characters are trying to figure out what's going on in the world.
So, how long does it take you to usually make a panel per se?
Um, hmm, that is a good question because normally I sketch out all the panels in the chapter before
Mm-hmm.
I
Actually, do the
go
work.
back and actually fix it up and make it look nice.
Mm-hmm.
So a sketch, depending on how an average panel. Let's go with not too much detail, but not also not too little detail. An average panel sketch is probably about 30-45 minutes just to know what do I want on this panel, what where do I want the story to go next, because I have a plot line, I have it lined out, but for the most part I'm not, I don't want to say I'm winging it because I have so much plotted out.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have the end in mind. I actually had to cut my first chapter short because of how long this fight in the first chapter is taking.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all important stuff. It's over 123 panels
No.
long.
I can't believe you do such amazing work. Not gonna lie, you really do, and it's doing all the things that go into making a manga panel can only be so long because I've never made a manga myself. Obviously, I'm not that talented with the art, so I'm not like I don't have like the biggest passion to make art. But I can only imagine because you have to actually plan out the story first. Because you don't want to just go into it and just say, yeah, I'm gonna do this cool without any planning. Because if you don't have like where do you want to end up at the end, you always want to. I guarantee you, someone like Oda, he had a plan for the end from the get go, what he wanted.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that change
Oh
over
yeah.
time because you get more into the story, but you have an angle in mind, which is Luffy ending up with the One Piece. How is he gonna get there? What people he's gonna meet? He probably had in mind that it would end shortly after Marineford. And then it was just like, I can do so much with this. And it continues going on, proving the story as he goes along. And that's what it takes, is you have to plan out the story first. You got to get out what is point A and what is their final point B. And that's like the biggest issue. You can have point C, D, E, F, G to get to there, but you also have to have like the main point of where you're going. Because if you just go off on a random tangent, it's going to be, inconsistent and no one would want to read it. Because if you don't have the end goal in mind, it will be hard to get the story out. So I honestly think that's like goes along with a lot of stories, such as Haikyuu. Obviously, the end goal is nationals. One Piece, the end goal is the One Piece. Dragon Ball, I don't know what the end game is, but My Hero to become the strongest hero. There's so many end goals at the end of some anime that is like you don't. Some people don't know how long it does go into some of these manga panels. So it just like it is really nice to see someone who's actually taking a liking to it and want to turn this into his passion, his hobby, and maybe even sometime a career, which I honestly do think.
Oh yeah. Do. Honestly, that is the end game right there, is to make this into a career. I am going to be uploading it on Webtoon, and because they seem to be able to treat their creators really well. And some of them end up being like official creators on their platform. And, like, they fund it kind of thing.
I think there's only been 2 series I will admit I've only read the most of when it comes to Webtoon, and that's We Home and Bastard. Because I found them really intriguing and really good. And those are manhwa, but there's like the only 2 manhwa I would consider good. In a way, well, they're excellent, but they're like the only thing. I think the only one that I would say is good or pleasantly good is Solo Leveling. I think Tower God's absolutely terrible. I like the world building, but that's all about. And then God of High School is torrid. I'm not going off the anime either.
Oh, so, you're not going off the anime.
I am not going off the anime. I'm actually going off the Webtoon.
I liked reading God of High School for a time, but after a while, it just got like
I enjoyed watching it.
It was a much better watch than it was a read. But I also definitely didn't like the fact that they changed up the character interactions, and there's a lot of things that they missed, and it's just like, this is ruining it for me. So it was a lose-lose situation for me, really. But yeah. So to answer your earlier question about the how long it takes, so it takes me to sketch about 45 minutes long, and probably would take twice as long just to line art and color it.
Okay.
So.
Most definitely.
So almost 2 hours for one panel. Oh gosh.
I honestly I can't imagine. I cannot imagine how much goes into a chapter of One Piece. To be fair.
Oh gosh, I can't imagine. And the fact that the guy Oda can go an entire week, do it mostly weekly. Like, oh my gosh.
And release banger chapters every week. It's just like, I don't know how he does it. I don't understand.
Literally, he just one-ups himself every chapter. Like, how?
Agree.
How do you do that? Oda, how? Teach me the way, senpai.
So I'm looking at your avatar right now. Obviously, you're on my flat screen TV. Welcome. What went into your inspiration of making said avatar?
So I wanted to make a character that was at least unique. Like, no, I didn't want anything that was uh what's it called? I didn't want to make anything like, oh, I have this. Like, I'm just gonna use this character specifically. This is me now. Like, I've seen so many other YouTubers, anime YouTubers have done. Like,
Me as
I,
Apple.
you know, I mean, you at least have different clothing and different
the
like
re-
aspects
the what
to your character.
everything that goes into my character is actually like stuff that I relate to. Gintoki, the reason I have his hair is just because sometimes I let my hair run wild. Not gonna lie, just because I don't feel like doing much, and then I'm not like the most active person. I can be lazy a lot, so I don't inherit like the pain of the bills thing. But I also have Asta. Whenever I'm doing something, I have the determination to never give up. Usually, I'm always hardworking, like Asta is. And then I can be a dick and hilarious like Cosmo at points. Not gonna lie, there is several times where I can be like Cosmo. There's times I'm like in Toki. There's several other characters I can relate to, but it's just like I'm only gonna put 3 characters into one character, and it's a unique character because I started like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
it's more or less like I don't have like I'm similar only Asta, so I'm gonna have Asta, but with a little bit of my take on it. Um, but it's just like my character, he has different clothing, but it's like at first I never went to the stance where I am now. Now I actually have like a bit that goes along with this being. There's a reason to have it. I have so many like ideas that go along with my avatar, which I could get into for days, and I won't for now. But it's just like I have so many ideas that came from just the first avatar you made. Was I had so many ideas for it from the get go. I didn't act on it until recently, but I had so many
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, my avatar has actually changed quite a lot since I first created it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was I gonna say? Okay, so basically, at first it was just a very similar hairstyle to what you see on. My character was originally a chibi character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember or if you've seen my older videos
I
where it
remember
had the.
seeing your old. I went through several of your old videos, just because when it goes
Okay.
to when I usually do the research on it, I usually watch an older video, a newer video, and some in between here and there. For example,
Okay.
I'll dive into a little bit of my next guest who is too spooky tomorrow. Um, I watched some of his older videos. I didn't have to watch his newer videos because I've been a fan of him, and it's just like I've been able to watch most of the videos. So it's just like, okay, I'm gonna see what his first video was. Okay, let's bring that up. What's his latest video? For example, one of the questions is like, okay, you did 101. Your first anime video was on 101 facts of One Piece, and now your last time that was 5 years ago. Now a year ago, or year plus, at the end of the day, is like, okay, a year plus ago, you also did the last time you did was 101 facts on Attack on Titan. What did you what do you think you improved on during those 4 years or 5 years? And it's like questions like that. Whenever I go into it, and for example, I've looked on your timeline. I'm like, oh, he said Kung Fu Panda would stop Goku. Here we go. And it's just like, there we go. It's just I go on what I see, and sometimes it's just like I can make a fun thing about it, or I watch another interview such as like John, where some of these ideas, like the next few, came from. So
Hmm.
there's so many inspiration that
Uh,
comes into these for me.
Very cool. But yeah, my character has changed a lot over the years, and that's mainly because I've watched much more anime
Mm-hmm.
and have improved my own art skills as well. Um, so the first one was a chibi, and it had like just a hoodie and like a t-shirt, a hoodie and t-shirt. Both of them were blue, and then I had my light blue hair.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Eventually I was like, I updated it, but it was more of a, hey, let's add more faces and update the faces kind of thing. Um, but then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to draw my character in different art styles. And then I drew what my character would wear if he was a fairy tale character.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up with basically the base design of what you see on the screen now.
Yeah.
Except the symbol was on my chest was a fairy tale logo, and the the blue coat wasn't a coat. It was like a sleeveless vest,
Yeah.
kind of open vest thing. Kind of like Natsu's original
Mm-hmm.
uh, vest thing. But then I ended up forming a guild called the Twilight Owls with my friends,
Yep. I did
and
hear about that.
and I actually designed the logo for that, which is why there's an owl on my chest now,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's update my character again. So I also gave him a sword, which I think I'm gonna I don't know.
I
But
see
I
the
also
sword.
have like some, huh?
I saw the sword.
Yeah, yeah. The I also gave my character a scar because I'm like, you know what? It looks cool. I have a few scars personally, but not on my face, thankfully. But I do have like some cool little backstory for my avatar. Like if he was a in the actual fairy tale world, and like I know what kind of magic he uses and everything. We each like chose our own magic, and it's great. It's hilarious.
Nice. Uh,
So yeah, that's pretty much the story of my avatar.
Now that you brought this up, I want to actually ask you what went into making John Loves Anime the leader of the Twilight Owls.
Oh, that was more of yeah, it's an instant. Yeah, it's totally John. So so the people the members of the Twilight Owls are as followed. The original founding members are John, me, Lady Q, Kitsune Katie, and
Don't know, right?
yeah, TK Dono. And recently we got a new member. Okay, I say recently, but it was like a month or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 3 months ago, actually. She's an artist that goes by Youthful Cyclops.
Yep, I met her once.
Yeah, she is a newer member. Basically, um, the five of us that started it was like, we're gonna need a guild leader, won't we? And we all were like, yeah, it's just John.
Yeah, it's
John
just
is
John.
John's the one that brought us all together in the first place. He's the glue that keeps us stuck together.
Most definitely. I can obviously see that with John as well. John is just an amazing dude. I'm so happy that I've been able to talk to the dude so much. If you want to know what goes into like the background of this, it's always John is one of the first people you see me talk to, just because he also does this, and just like
Oh, absolutely.
he was the one that made me want to do this in the first place, was just John, and John's just a lovable dude. I mean, if you go off like a first appearance, uh, my first appearance was John. I want his juicy ass now. But I'm not gay, by the way. But John is just an amazing mad lad. He really is. And if you guys haven't already, just give him a follow. He deserves it. He's an amazing man. I actually have.
um,
I'm getting with him after his interview. I'm gonna be talking with him about scheduling, his interview with me. Well, not on his channel, on my channel, where I interviewed John. That's what I meant to say. I am so bad with words.
okay.
Um, but that will be probably the 8th. So,
Ooh,
of February. So, I got a
very
couple
cool.
things that I work out right now, but I should be able to do it on the 8th. So, it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. But,
Yeah. John actually had a lot of self-esteem issues starting out. So we were able to help him out, and lately his success is phenomenal.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
I have so many ideas for questions for him. It's not even funny. There's like, I there's so many things I want to ask him, such as one big question, which is, how do you feel about your change when it came to your very first interview to your latest interview? It's just stuff like that. It's just like your improvement is remarkable. How do you feel about that? Like stuff like that. Because there's so much I can do with John. John is an amazing man, and there was so much I can do with you. There's so much I can do with a lot of people. The one that caused me the most trouble was kissing a Katie, but that was because it wasn't because it was hard to research anything. That wasn't the hardest part. That was when I was really in writer's block, where I just couldn't think of shit. It was just like, well, I couldn't. Is this? And every time a question came to mind, it was like, yeah, it's out 1 year now. Bye bye. Oh, this. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna ask. Oh, this. No. It was just like I think I ended up with a couple questions, but it was just like I finally was able to do it, and all of them are just personalized to her. But I got a couple more research I gotta do. I know I went back and I saw a tweet where she was a firebender, so I'm gonna ask a question about her being a firebender. But what was your first reaction? Okay, I got this question from when I was watching John's stream. So I heard John donated money to say bring you on to Evan's stream because he knew you would annoy him. So what was your first reaction when you got pinged on Discord to join a call with Evan and Nuts?
Okay, not gonna lie, I was psyched. This wasn't the first time I've talked with Evan, but that was the first time I've talked with Nux Taku. And oh my gosh, I was shaking.
I can only imagine. Honestly, it would be the same thing with me when it comes to Briggs even. I've talked to Briggs so many times and I still get shaky. I love the dude.
Really?
Yeah, Briggs is a calm.
I've talked with.
He was probably the one person who motivated me to start Twitch and YouTube. So, I had the idea to do anime-based content, but it wasn't like I was gonna act on it. It was just like, yeah, that would be cool. I probably could do it, but I don't know. And that was inspired by Nuts. It was like, yeah, maybe. And then Braids, I'm like, my first problem was like, I don't think I can make it. My voice is, I have a popularized tongue, so I highly doubt that. I find Bridge, and I'm like, wait, does he have a speech impediment? I'm like, I can instantly tell on that. And just like, I was trying not to be rude about it, but I'm like, hey, what would you say to a guy who thought about doing YouTube and Twitch, but also have a speech impediment? He's like, bro, I have a speech impediment too. Look where I'm at. It's like, oh, yeah. It was like, yeah, I mean, Briggs is just the one dude who was like, inspired me to go actually head first into it. And there's, I think the only YouTuber I met in real life, I don't know if you heard of him, but his name is Pungence.
I've not heard of him. No.
I can type it in chat real quick if you guys want to look up his channel on YouTube. But he was the very first person I met in real life. And funny story about that, actually. I was having a very freaking rough day that day. And I mean rough. So it was when the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie was hyped up. I was huge in the Dragon Ball at this point. And I still kind of am. I watched the Broly movies not too long ago. I cried at the Gine and Boruto scene, not gonna lie. But it was an epic movie. And it was just like, okay, they had premieres. And I knew about Broly was going to happen. And I knew about Gogeta just from the movie selection they had. But it was the... I think it was the... Was it the Broly movie? I think it was a Broly movie. I went to see it in theaters. It was just like, it's $4. I can go to see it in theaters. And it was just like, I own the movie, but I want to see it in theaters. I can get popcorn pop and all that. And I'm in the line to get popcorn. No, it wasn't popcorn. It was pop. Because I don't eat popcorn from movie theaters. But I was in the line. And I look over. And there's a dude I recognize. I'm like, hold on. What the fuck? I kind of... You know those glances that you do? Like, is that actually the dude I know? And then you glance right back. I'm a hell of introverted in real life. I am like nervous as all get out.
Oh, I'm saying.
Especially when I meet someone who, not even if he is famous, that wasn't the thing I was like scared of. Like if I went up to Markiplier, I'll probably be chill. It wouldn't be like, oh, shaking. It's Markiplier. Yeah, he's famous. He's just like, oh yeah, hi. Because he wasn't anyone who inspired me to do YouTube. But this dude was like the dude I grew up with, who I inspired to be like. And just see him was like, oh, frick. I was about to walk by him, and his dad pointed me out. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then we got talking, and and the entire time I got a picture. We went home. That made my day so much. He had no idea. I tweeted about it on my personal account at the time because I wasn't a YouTuber at all. So we're just like, I just read it out, and I got a bunch of likes, obviously. And then, what was it? The next time the 2 movies was going out, it was the Bardock episode and the the Fusion Were Born, or whatever it's called. And I went to see that. And I wasn't expecting anything. It was just like, yeah, I'm just going to go here. Cause I was going to watch it after my SAT. And I was just like, I'm going to go watch it at the SAT after. Went to see the movie. And there he was, walking up, trying to find where I was sitting. I'm like, what the fuck? He actually remembered this? Me? What the frick? And then we made plans to go watch a Broly movie and the Avengers Endgame movie, and just like, yeah, I don't know, we hung out a lot more than I thought we ever would. So we're just like, shit can happen.
That's cool, man. That's really cool.
But yeah, I think he was like the one person I met in real life that caused me to shake, so that badly. Going off that last question though, as you also got tagged by Nuts to make art of him and heavily in that weird pose that you did on Twitch. I was at that Twitch stream, by the way. What was your reaction to that?
Okay, so funny story actually. I was out of the house, so I was on my data. I think I was in Walmart at the time, and I went to check for my phone and because I got a buzz. And the pictures wouldn't load for some reason. I don't know why. They just wouldn't load. And so I read the thread without being able to look at the pictures. So, and I just see Nux tagged me like, yo, you want to do this? And I'm like, I don't say no more. I'm on it. So when I get back home and I start it up and I look at it, I just see the picture of the screen capture of Food Wars.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And I'm just like, are you kidding me?
It was kind of epic.
I just started dying. Oh my gosh. But I was shocked that he tagged me. And I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Nuts tagged me? And then after I finished the art and posted it, and gave it. I sent it to Nux in a private DM, and I posted it on Twitter, and ended up getting over, let's see, 8,000 likes. I think it was a lot of likes. Heavenly Controller ended up following me after that as well, and I'm like, what?
Wait a minute, how does this happen? I mean, a lot of things can happen. The one thing that some people don't know is, I always say this whenever I'm doing. Hold on, I'm burping. Whenever it comes to interviewing people in real life or talking to some YouTuber, say it's Markiplier, he's still a fucking person.
Oh yeah.
Do not do stuff and treat him highly. Yes, there's some people who's like, yeah, treat me highly, you peasant. I guarantee the Paul brothers or KSI is like, treat me big peasant. Yeah, I can't speak. But it's just like, everyone's all people, and Nuts, I guarantee he's a person. Nuts is a person. Heavenly's a person. They have personas that amplifies their personalities. Yes, but they're still a person. So, and that's what I always had to come across. Even when I'm fanboy, my very first one was Cyanide or Mood on TV. I was fanboying, but I kept that to a minimum because he's a person. I'm not gonna fanboy him. And most times I fanboy was to do a bit or some type of joking manner. I think one of the questions was like a lot of people call you the absolute goat, and I think you're the absolute goat. And it's just like, and then I went on, you're welcome for making you feel all the pressure, man. And it's just like, and then I caused like, there was actually a great edit I did with it. I'm not gonna lie, I actually died laughing at the edit. It was a stupid edit, but it was like perfect. I had the eyes bulging out when he zooming in on his face, spinning around. It was just like amazing. It was just like, this is exactly my content. This is the stuff I watch. It was just so funny to watch. And then on top of that, it just meeting Mudan was amazing. I will admit. And
I noticed he was in the chat or in this lobby, in this Discord lobby.
Yes, he was. I usually invite all the people I do to this Discord because it's easier for me than just like, hey, go to my Discord. Yeah. No, it's just like, here's the interview lobby. You can leave whenever you want. You don't have to stay. But it's like, this is what I'm going to be doing at my interviews. It's a lot easier than like going to my Twitch channel and then next thing you know, I get people popping in left and right that are not invited. It's just like, this is an interview time where it's just one-on-one. Not, a bunch of people pop in. Yeah, come in. If you're invited, then yeah. But if you're not, then I don't want you coming in here and just spoiling the fun for me or for my interview because he's my guest or she. It's like if Iron Mouse were to come on to John's show, I guarantee he would say the same thing. Yes, you may ooh over her, but just like this is one-on-one time, not anything else. And that's what I like to do. It's like I want to connect with this person. Even if there's some hell, if I got Tekken 101 over here, I would be fanboying the ever living crap, but I'll be pointing that to a minimum because he's still a person. And I think honestly, if there's one person on YouTube who I can probably talk to the most, it will probably be Tekken. So
honestly, I agree. He's an amazing dork of a YouTuber. Oh, and I love him so much.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love his content.
So I also did hear that you have some plans for 2021, and those plans are getting more content for more quality content, but also like simplistic style is the way you put it.
Yes.
And you're planning on getting into animations. Would you like to go into that?
I will go into that. I recently got a new drawing tablet that is meant for my computer, so I can use my my animation softwares and actually good animation stuff. So I am planning on doing some animations. Probably like I don't know if I'm gonna do it on a different channel or if I'm just gonna do or I'm just gonna do it on. I'm probably gonna end up just doing it on my current channel just because it'd be easier. But I will be talking a lot about anime and things like that. But those types of that type of content will still be around. But I want to focus more on animating and things like that because that is my true passion.
Most definitely.
Yes. But the videos are going to be this video styles will be a lot more simplistic so that it's easier for me to edit basically. It's just going to be easier edits basically. I basically was I'm saying basically a lot.
Yeah.
But I was inspired by Tekken's content, how simple it was, and yet so enjoyable, and I want to basically do that. But I can't exactly film myself in this room.
Yeah.
Because it's unfinished. So I actually have one of John's friends and an acquaintance of mine, Honeydew, a VTuber.
Yep.
She's rigging one of my art avatars that I've come up with.
I was in that stream, baby. I knew it all.
Yes.
I knew it.
Yeah,
As soon as you were saying John's family, I know what you're talking about, man. I know. I was there.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm gonna be using. I'm probably gonna end up using that once she's
Hmm.
done rigging it. Um,
I
and
thought
I'll
about
probably
becoming a YouTuber.
draw a background of some kind, or I might, depending on the topic, I'll have a background
Hmm.
in the uh in the anime or in a certain topic, and then I'll record myself um using that VTuber model with the background,
Hmm.
and I will be just making a few edits here and there to show basically the what's it called? Yeah, basically the proof points and just
Yeah.
little pictures here and there. Kind of like what Tekking does with his
Hmm.
thing, but in my case, it'll be with a VTuber model because I'm not comfortable with my room. At the moment, anyway.
I will admit, if I were,
Because
wait, what?
there was some big, big, big news that happened
Ooh,
today, actually.
you love to see it.
And that is an opportunity. I can't really say much other than what I'm currently going to say,
Hmm.
and I don't know how long it'll be before it happens, but I am moving to Japan.
Ooh,
This year, sometime this year, I will be moving to Japan.
that is kind of epic.
So I'll have my own space for once.
That going, I can only imagine. I told people that I probably would never live in Japan myself. I would love to visit Japan for a year, to be honest. But that is epic. That is epic. So,
Yeah,
I
I've wanted to. I wanted to. A lot of people that I've met IRL are like, anytime I mentioned, oh, I want to go to Japan, they're like, you just want to go because you like anime. That's
yep.
not a good reason. And I'm like, no, I actually really do enjoy the culture.
And
I've researched their culture, and I've
mhm.
researched some of the stuff, and I love the learning the language. I know a little bit, but I don't know a whole lot yet. Hopefully, I can get the basics down before I get there.
Probably be a good
That'll be
idea.
fun.
I know that when it comes to moving to Japan, that's like a whole different cultural change than you were used to. Because America is just like, yeah, I'm heyo, and it's just like, oh, what is this bitch doing over here now? It's just like you're gonna have a major cultural difference, and it's just like, I most definitely would recommend you also watch some Trash Taste because they go into
Oh
it.
yeah, I watch Trash
They
Taste a
they
lot.
go
Yeah.
into it detail like what it when you move to Japan, what it's like, and all that, and that's always a way to get into it. You also want to have experience with it. Um, Me personally, I have never moved. I moved obviously to a college dorm, but that was about it. Um, but moving out
Hmm.
of the country, I can only imagine it's gonna take a lot of effort. So.
I've never moved out of the country, but I have moved. I used to. My dad used to be in the military, so we
Hmm.
used to move all the time from
Hmm.
state to state.
But
I moved.
I
I
think it's
lived
gonna
in a
be
lot of
I think it's gonna
states.
be really epic, man. I really do.
Honestly, I'm excited and also nervous at the same time.
I honestly, you should be nervous. Um, I mean, I'm not trying to say that as a rude manner. It's just like, yeah, you're moving. I mean, it's always hard
Yeah.
to, because obviously you're gonna be leaving. If you have friends in where you live at, you're gonna be leaving them not behind, but you're not gonna be able to see them a lot because you're out of the country and it'll be harder to come back and you have to get plane days. It's a whole mess, but yeah, I honestly did not expect that. I was like, oh, is he gonna say like getting a new apartment, which is amazing, but it's just like moving to Japan? What the fuck? I did not expect that one.
Yep. It'll be my my first place to myself actually.
That is that is epic. That is really epic. Um, but yeah, I will admit, the one thing that got me introduced to your art, the one thing, and I'm happy John brought it up when he was mentioning about him as a maid, and that was the Moe Cafe.
The Moe Cafe.
What was the
Yes.
idea that you went into it?
So at the time, um, I can't remember what it was. I think it was an artist that goes by the name of Rasha on Twitter. She's
Mm-hmm.
great, or he's great. I don't know what the real gender is, but they're great. Um, they decided that they were going to gender bend Nuxtaku one day, and you know what? I'm like, you know what? That sounds like fun, and so I gender bent Nuxtaku as well. And then another person gender bent Nuxtaku, and then another, and then another, and then I'm like, well, this is all just Nuxtaku we're talking about here. Hello, we need some more people. So I decided to gender bend everyone in the Rent Cafe, Nux, Briggs, and Animac. So I did all of them and a group drawing, and that was the start. During that time, it was someone was in the chat saying it's the Rant Moe, and I'm like, or the Moe Cafe,
Yeah.
and then it just became a thing. It just became a thing after that. I just started gender bending anime YouTubers left and right,
Mm-hmm. Which is always
and
good.
I grew a lot. I grew not just in my art, but in my on my my Twitter. I got a lot of recognition from by a lot of people from that,
Mm-hmm.
which I was not expecting.
Which is hella
I'm like,
impressive, man.
really?
Your
Is that
work
what I'm
is
gonna be known as?
your artwork is kind of top tier, man. That it's well deserved. It really is.
I'm
Never.
not that great when it comes to backgrounds. That's my weakness.
I mean, backgrounds
Characters
always
are
take
great.
practice. They will always take practice, and with everything you do, even with art, when it comes to volleyball, when it comes to drumming, which the last two is stuff that I do, you always gotta practice. Today I've been rusty for a while. I finally got back to playing the drums, and there was something I wanted to do. I don't go to church all that often, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna. They they started like not begging, but they were my mom was like, you know, they probably will want you back as the drummer. I'm like, I know, but I'm just kind of embarrassed to go back, type deal. And I'm just like, okay, I'll go back. And I finally started playing today. I did very well in practice, and when it came to the actual execution of one of the beats, I messed up so hard, and no one realized it. I'm like, oh, you didn't realize it? Thank God. It was like the biggest mess up. You could see my face instantly. As soon as I mess up the first time, I get frustrated, and then the second time I
Yeah.
mess up again, and then I'm like, okay, I need a break. And then when we go back to the third song, no, the final song, my bad. We go back and I do the exact same thing, but I actually do it correctly. I get so pissed off that I missed it on the one that I actually plan on doing it. But the only reason I did it on the last song, was because I messed up previously. So, and it worked out.
Mhm.
So, I mean, obviously I'm still rusty because it's been over a year since I've drummed. So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but like I said, practice makes perfect all the time. You do you think getting on the drums gonna be easy when you first start? No, it is
No.
not easy. Playing volleyball, getting into it, you spike a ball. God no, there's a lot more to it. You gotta be able to jump at the right angle. You gotta aim at the right angle. There's so much to do, and there's I don't know everything that goes into volleyball drawing. It's always impressive to me. That's what got me into uh, wanting to see people draw. That's what I get drawn to artists. I really do. I think a lot of artists do phenomenal work. And now my sister is getting into drawing. She finally got a tablet that she can draw on now. She was just drawing on a piece of paper half the time, and she's really good. She had some issue with hands, and I'm like, okay, I got the perfect thing. DM'd one of my friends, and she's like, just draw them in an awkward position. I'm like, there we go. So now she's drawing them in awkward positions, like more prevalent, like yeah, like just in prevalent scenarios with the hands, and just like once you get used to it, you will get used to it, and obviously practice does
Yeah.
make perfect. So, and I guarantee you're gonna be able to do it, man. I really do. So
Yeah.
you make
I
impressive.
don't have. I have gotten a lot better with coming up with my own backgrounds.
Hmm.
When it comes to like backgrounds, if I can like see it, I'm better. But
Hmm.
with my manga, it's impossible because it's all fantasy.
Hmm.
But yeah, I am working on it. I am getting better at it.
So for
And,
actually, for example, real quick, the background that I have, I'm gonna show up my AFK one real quick. This is my AFK side. There's not you would be shocked when she first got me this image. I was blown away because what I asked for her was a couch that I'm sitting on and a TV, a flat screen TV that it's green screen so I can crop it out easily. Um,
Mhm.
and she brought it out. I'm like, okay. So after that, I was like, okay, I got a little bit of fine details I want into it because I wanted this to be me, my type of thing. So obviously, I have up here in the what is it, the where the Urza figure is. I have the Cecius subconscious trophy, which is part of my lore. I have Bunny Girl Tao in the wall to kind of show a little bit of ego side, just because I don't actually have an ego in real life, but it's just like I find that I really don't have an ego. I have an ego, but it's like to the bare minimum. So it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna place it up because it's an award. And obviously the Cecius subconscious is just like, yeah, that's me. That's me. um, so if someone were to actually meet me in real life, call me Cecius subconscious, baby. I would be like, yeah, baby, that's me. Like if someone called me Tao, it's like, okay, that's fine. If someone called me TauBitzer, I'm like, oh god, I'm cringy now. But if someone says Cecius subconscious, I'm like, I'd give you a fist bump. I don't care about COVID at that point. But
Oh
yeah,
man.
it a lot of things does go into artist work, and obviously like there was a lot of things she was asking me about, like what's my favorite manga, and I said Haikyuu, Food Wars, Black Clover, Fairy Tail, and One Piece, and she did all that. My three favorite waifus, Boa, Erina, and Urza, all up there. So and then Odin, the body pillow. That was just like it was originally gonna be who did I have in mind? I think I originally was gonna have Keanu Reeves, and I switched it to yes, I then switched it to Boa. Then I was like, no, I'm gonna have Odin, baby. And it was just like Odin and an Odin stick. So Odin was top tier. But what got you into drawing?
That is a question I don't really know the answer to. I was just the earliest memory that I can think of is I was doodling on like some homework when I was in elementary school. I'd
Mm-hmm.
like to say I was in first or second grade. I can't tell,
Mm-hmm.
but I was doodling and on my assignment on the side of it, and one of my classmates said that it was really cool, and I'm like, oh hey, thank you, and I just kept at it.
I mean, that's pretty much all it takes, to be honest. I mean, just one compliment on your drawing can instantly relate a passion. Like, wow, someone actually liked this. Well, let me do it more because you want more recognition for stuff. That's obviously when you're a child. And this was me as well. Whenever you were good at something, they always said you were good at it. So what do you want to do when you heard someone say, "Oh, you're actually good at this"? It's like, well, I'm gonna become better and become the best
Yep.
at it. And just that's what happens. Um, I don't remember what I was good at, but I forget. Um, I think it was acting. Even though I had like a crappy voice, I was good at acting. And I suck at lying. I am the worst at lying, but I'm a good actor. I don't know how that missed,
Interesting.
but yeah, it missed somehow. And then I was told I was good at miming, so yeah, I did that in elementary school. I mean, what
Mine.
else? I mean, so
Okay.
I mean, they
Whatever
were
floats your boat.
there were several other things I was good at. I practiced drawing when I was younger, and then I just stopped. I guess lost interest in it is a better term. Um, I guess I played soccer and I was decent at it when I was younger, and then I stopped doing that as well. I switched over to a different sport. But what was your
Mm.
favorite drawing that you have drawn so far? If you had to choose one, I know it's hard, but if you had to choose your favorite drawing,
Huh.
or one of your favorites, I should say, because obviously it's hard picking a favorite. I should know.
Hmm. That is a question.
It is a question.
Um. I really can't really choose. There is one that I loved for a time. I mean, obviously, I still love it, but it was like I regarded it as my magnum opus for a time, and obviously, it isn't my magnum opus. But it's kind of hard to describe. So let me see if I can find it. It might be on Twitter actually, if I would go far enough down. Basically, I was in a rough headspace at one point. I was just anxious and angry. And so I drew a what's it called? I drew a guy in screaming in anger and agony with red lightnings around him and a bunch of really cool stuff. But it was really, really cool. I liked how it came out at the time. I'm not sure how far I'm going to have to scroll though to find it.
You don't have to find it if it takes forever. You don't have
to I just found another one.
Ooh.
Save image. No. Okay, there we go. I'm going to. Is it alright if I send it like in this? What's it called? This chat here.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Discord.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a character in my manga, and he's the edgiest one ever. Absolutely great. I love it.
Nice. Let me pull it up on here.
Someone was asking about.
It isn't the greatest image at the moment, just because I just pulled it over, but this is the image. If anyone's wondering, it looks really good.
Yeah, he's one of the characters in that, and that's all I'm gonna say actually.
I don't blame you. It's your manga. And, I mean, it's always good to have like an idea and then executing it and not letting people know. I think that's always a great feeling. Just like it's something unexpected a little bit, I guess you can say. So, and then of course we have the final question, and this is my most serious question yet. This is always gonna be the serious question, guys. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I don't think you're ready. You're gonna pump up real quick. Do some push-ups. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Who would win in a battle of power or friendship? Natsu Dragneel or Yugi Moto? Let's go, baby.
Who's Yugi Moto?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
That doesn't sound familiar.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh! His power more comes from the freaking
Heart of the cards, baby.
Heart of the cards.
No,
Heart of the cards.
Oh, with Joey in the background, I know I can do it. Joey.
I still think it's more Heart of the Cards than Power of Friendship. I'm
both.
sorry, Natsu takes the cake. Natsu takes the cake.
Baby. Yeah, Natsu. That's all we need, baby. Oh, hell yeah. So I know that's the final question, but I'm gonna ask one more question. Okay. Well, actually, two more. What's your 2021 goals?
Make it to Japan safely.
Obviously.
Publish Titan Nova and publish each chapter monthly.
Okay.
And animate more.
Of course.
Really, that's pretty much it. Other than making more YouTube content and things like that. When my my rig, my VTuber model ends up working.
And of course, the final question: if you were to give tips or advice to someone who's just starting out drawing and they got a passion for it, or starting YouTube, or starting to stream on Twitch, what advice would you give them?
Don't stop. Keep going. If it's something you're passionate about, do it and do it constantly. Okay, not constantly, but you get my point.
Yeah, we
like
get it.
do it consistently and keep working at it. Constantly look for ways to better your talent that you want to have.
Mm-hmm.
Because an artist that doesn't improve isn't a real artist.
Yes.
Gonna be honest.
And honestly, I believe that. And I will admit, there is several videos I have planned that I want to do, but I don't know how to enact on it, I guess you can say.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm at writer's block at the moment. So, but just, I know that's a long tangent, but that's just what I feel. I mean, you got into the dive of Tao, I guess. But thank you so much for coming on, man. It really does mean a lot.
Hey, no problem, man. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. It was a really fun stream. Let's see here. Okay. You can stay here and talk for a little bit. I don't know how much long I'm going to be streaming for, but
Okay. Well, I do have a thing that I wanted to like some friends wanted to
yeah.
call.
So
So
I'm
I'm
going
gonna
to
probably
let you go then. You have a wonderful rest of the day, man.
You as well, man. Take
I'm
care. I'm
probably going
gonna
to
leave
raid
you some evil
Jordan.
emojis in chat.
Hell yeah. But you have a wonderful rest of the
Alright.
night. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you too, man. See you later.
Well, that was fun, guys. How was it? I hope it wasn't too long. I really wasn't trying to, but I was just having a fun time. It really was a fun time. But I do want to let you guys know I do have many more scheduled. I'm actually like working on a lot of schedules at the moment. I gotta pull up my calendar at the moment. I gotta add in. No, I already added it. I think. Um, let me go to my calendar real quick. Google Calendar, baby. Yeah, baby. Month. Why not? Um, so right now, I think I have someone for the 20th. Why isn't Tyler showing up? Um, hold on a moment. Why isn't Tyler showing up? Oh, I thought I added Tyler. What the hell? That was epic. Thank you. I enjoyed it. Thank you. I try and make it as entertaining as possible. Um, I'm not the greatest at a lot of things, but I try to be good enough. I actually want to make sure I have this all written down. I do. It's just I'm stupid. Okay, let me quickly write it down. I think Tyler was the 20th from 9 a.m. to let's say it's 10:30. Tyler Doe interview. Soma was 22nd. At 7. Yep, 7 p.m. Booski, let's do 8:30. Soma, Rigel interview. But for right now, tomorrow is too spooky at 3:30, I believe. Yeah, 3:30 to 4:30. It's gonna be a little bit shorter. I will try and make it because he does have stuff he gotta do that night. But we're most definitely gonna try and get through it. Wednesday will be Kitsune Katie. And then I'm working with several other people. I might have one Saturday as well. And then of course Tyler Doe is 9:30 a.m. 9 to 10:30 a.m. on Wednesday the 20th. And then on the 21st we have a collab with several people for Forest and Among Us. And then Soma is the 22nd. I still have a lot to go through. So I gotta schedule Dami, Toadette, Blackbird. I gotta schedule Jordan. I have to get back to him, but I'm gonna actually raid Jordan. So thank you guys all for coming out. Let's see here. Raid the anime. Actually,
That's what you think. It's your
No,
money.
no, no.
because
It's
it.
not that, but that.
you know what, Fuka? I don't think I've rated this man before. He's a mad lad. I don't think I've ever rated him. So why not? Linger, you get my raid today. I fucked it up. I fricked it up. You guys saw nothing. Yes, I totally did it. I totally did it. 100%. I did not mess up. I swear.
community,
swear to
what
you.
you bring to the table. It's not about your money. It's not about your
But you guys have a wonderful rest of the night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.